Hello everybody, I'm Slow Rider, this is my world, and today I am mostly going to be talking about the environment. Well, not really. More my wallet, really. But if helping my wallet helps the environment, who am I to argue? Yeah, it's a bit of a dull discussion, sorry. But I made the decision recently to go back to the E5 fuel rather than continuing to use E10. Oh no, the E10's the environmentally friendly fuel, and it's cheaper than E5, you know, if you're talking per litre, per gallon, etc. But the reality is, it's just not environmentally friendly at all. I was starting to notice just how much fuel I was burning through using the E10, because I'd been using E10 in Europe, and it's difficult to tell when you're doing long distance stuff and you don't normally do long distance stuff. It's difficult to tell what sort of mileage you're actually getting from it and how it compares, but it didn't seem to be doing my engine any harm there. So when it came up in the UK, I was like, it's either that or paying more for the E5, and we're supposed to be just as efficient, so you know, we'll give it a chance. And it's become more and more apparent through regular everyday use that it's not anywhere close to similarly efficient in terms of miles per gallon, etc. The government, and you never believe them, but the government said it was 1% difference in efficiency. The media have been saying more recently that it's more like 9% less efficient than the premium E5, and my figures are suggesting it's worse than that. And granted, if you're thinking about these sort of equations, you've got to base it on what you're experiencing with your engine, because every engine deals with fuel differently. I saw a discussion on the CBR 500R owners group on Facebook. The number of people saying that their engines were reacting differently to the E10. Some saying that they thought it was more efficient than the E5, which I don't believe for a minute, but okay, it's their choice. But it really came to a head when I was going down to my brother's not so long ago. That's the Put on the Controls video. It dawned on me that actually I am using up more fuel with the E10. So I started working it out, and I put in a tank of E5 and to get home, and started using E5 since then. And I mean, it's not been that long, but already I can see a massive difference in efficiency. I don't have exact figures, I can't quote to you from a spreadsheet or anything like that. But my experience suggests that on regular commuting, a tank of E10 will last me a week and a half, whereas a tank of E5, even the regular stuff beforehand, will last me 2 weeks. Doesn't sound like a lot of difference. It's commuting wise, it's 20 miles a day, 10 miles each way, very approximately. So we're talking 40 miles every 2 weeks, which doesn't sound like a huge amount. But it is, as near as damn it, 20–25%. Now, primarily, as I say, the reason for this change is my wallet, and let me explain that to you a little bit. E5 fuel currently in the UK is between 7 and 12p more expensive per litre than the E10 stuff, because it's a premium fuel, etc, 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 paying for the environmental costs, blah blah blah. Over a 6-week period I fill it up 3 times. once every 2 weeks. If we assume 10p a litre difference, that's £1.40 per tank, because it's a 14 litre tank, which is £4.20 every 3 fill-ups every 6 weeks. In that same 6-week period, I'm buying an extra tank of fuel of E10. Tank of fuel being about 20 quid. That's a £15 saving for using more expensive fuel over 6 weeks, a month and a half. And I know there are people out there as well, well, you probably have already said it, but before you say it anymore, there are people out there who will say, yes, E10 damages your engine, and yes, it does. So does E5, by the way, because it's the ethanol part that's the problem. Are you going straight on? No, you're going that way, but you're just not indicating. But it's all the rubbery bits that get eaten away by the ethanol, as I understand it, which is not good for the engine. But it takes a little while to do it. So, I mean, yes, long term there's going to be an effect on the engine, but that's not why I'm thinking of it particularly. You can say it is my wallet. But if we look at the environmental side of things, over those 6 weeks, for the E10, for the E5 fuel, 3 tanks of fuel is 42 litres. It's E5, so 5% of that is the ethanol-based fuel, therefore it's about 40 litres of fossil fuels. Assuming that ethanol is carbon neutral, and I don't think it is, that's basically 40 litres of fossil fuels eating up the environment. By contrast with the E10, I'm using 56 litres of fuel, of which 5.6 litres is ethanol, because that's 10%. So that's approximately 50 litres of fossil fuels being eaten up. That's a whole 10 litres more. I say, if ethanol is carbon neutral, that means E10 is worse for the environment for this bike. It may not just be carbons they're thinking about, it may be other things. But carbon is what they're normally talking about. CO2. In any case, it seems to me that the E10 fuel is, for this bike and this engine, E10 is far more dangerous to the environment. And it's far more dangerous for my wallet, and it's far more dangerous for my engine. So it's getting binned. And I'm going back to E5, to the premium fuel. That was a thoroughly exciting video, wasn't it? I do have a more exciting video coming up, and my Scottish tour videos should be starting soon. I'm due to go... Well, as you're watching this, I should be heading up to Scotland, although I'm probably going to get very wet if I do. It's not looking good weather-wise, but it's supposed to be throwing it down today. It's not too bad. I've had a bit of grief recently with this bike. When I was at Sainsbury's the other week, someone decided to turn it over whilst I was in the store. The level of intelligence of some people is astounding. I can only presume it's because they couldn't actually steal it with all the locks on, so they just thought they'd turn it over. I don't know what the logic of it was. Not much damage to the bike. They're the little... I don't even know what it's called. The bit where that sticks out of the footrest. Sorry, the side stand. Which you can use your foot to lower the side stand down. I don't know what that little bit is called, but that's bent. and is therefore basically not usable, which is nice. Quite a few scratches. I think the support for the luggage box on the left hand side is bent, because the luggage box is on at the time, so I think that's bent. And I've got to sort the mirrors out. They both seem to be out of shape or out of place, which is annoying. I've done the best I can with them in the position that they're in, but I need to get some screwdrivers out to the joints, fix them properly. I was supposed to be going to Sainsbury's again today, but I reckon what I want I can get elsewhere. I don't particularly want to park my bike up at Sainsbury's again, just at the minute. Anywho, I think even if it does get very, very wet, I'm still going to go to Scotland. We'll see. I don't really have another week I can go and do it, that's the problem, and I want to do it. The weather could change, or the weather reports could change, the weather forecasts. But I want to enjoy some nice roads. Oh, has anyone else noticed how many bloody roads are closing at the minute? There's a lot of them where they're just, you know, sort of side roads. They're putting bollards up to block people from using the roads. This one's been closed for a while. I don't think they're doing the same here. I was going down the road the other day, and it's right, I haven't been down for a while. I got to the end of it, and suddenly there's these bollards there. Bloody point of it. It's like they're trying to force everyone to use the main roads. Force all the traffic the same way. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I feel like I'm getting ranty now. It's not the plan. I'm trying to go home. Nip to Morrison's. I was going to nip to JNS. I don't think I will. Maybe. As the weather improves, so I'm going to have to try and find some nice curvy roads to ride down. I mean, beyond the usual ones, I like to go into the Peak District and the Dales in Yorkshire. Mind finding something to the east and a bit more to the south, maybe. There's a lot of towns that way, though. Ooh, that Bob wasn't there last time I went down here. Digging up the bloody roads again. Oh well, boring straight road. I shall leave it here for this video. Hope you've enjoyed my ramblings, because they are basically that. Ramblings. If you did get anything useful out of it, leave a like. leave any comments you might have in the description, not in the description box, in the comments box. It's called a comments box for a reason. Leave them in the comments. Yeah. Agree, disagree, never went to E10 in the first place, that sort of stuff. People who do roadworks anyway. All that sort of stuff. As always, be polite. And I shall see you all in the next video. Until then, be good humans. Ta-ta for now. It's a red light, but you weren't looking at that.